Alright guys, welcome back. The final match, well, it's about as finals as it gets. The final of the group, it's the finals of this series, and of course it's the final match of the Koreans overall. Because after this, mind you, we will be moving on to the European group as soon as this one concludes, which will be after this game. So, which of these two are going to join Impact in the semifinals? Spotting the bottom left corner of the map, from Axiom, it's the blue Terran Heart.
Bright as the red Terran, it's Gumiho.
Alright, so we kind of made jokes calling that game lame towards the end of it, and I really want to stress, like, that wasn't like, oh, this guy's such a lame player, Gumiho didn't deserve that win, but I mean, that was one of those things where just a very unfortunate circumstance of events happened for Hart, and he actually just walked into his own death. It wasn't that dynamic, but it was effective, and that was the thing about Gumiho. He's really able to take advantage of what KenZy's station was. I don't think he'll be presented with the same opportunity here, but there is that option around the natural and third, where we very frequently see two tanks siege up here and cause a lot of trouble for whichever player is on the receiving end of it.
Yeah. I wonder if Hart had even scouted that Gumiho had that third command center, because you think if you scout that, you'd be inclined to try and do something with whatever units you have, basically, right? Before they can really reap the benefits of the third CC, and you've missed the timing as to when you can punish it. It also has to do with, like, you know, Hart was never in control of that map, you know? If he had control of the map and he had Doom Drop somewhere, it wouldn't have mattered potentially. Like, Doom Drops can bring you back in a game and outright end the game too, so.
Yeah. I am a little bit curious about openings though. I don't think other matchups really are so death dependent on the way this does tend to play out, but it's such a silly way to phrase it like that, but I can't think of a better way. I mean, truthfully
you know who's
speaking,
death dependent? The undead in Warcraft 3.
The damned stand ready. Actually, I love those acolytes. They have the Starcraft Easter egg. If you guys don't know, if you click the acolytes a bunch, their normal line is "My life for NMrUUG," but they'd go "My life for Ire," or "I mean NMrUUG." It's one of my favorite Easter egg on most of the crossovers.
Nice. Well, Gumiho goes for this faster command center again. I mean, so far he's really getting away with it, right? It's like, it's not, I don't know if you can really hard counter it. You know, like a T-Rex, which you don't usually see in TVT, but anyways, it's always been like the mid-game, just like, you know, not having a tank quite out fast enough or not having Hellions in position. And obviously he got away with that fast third CC last game, and that paid off really great.
Well, you know, we never did go over the bets for this series, guys. There's 13,455 part 2s bet on Gumiho to win this, with not too far behind, just shy of 8,000 on Hart there. So it's a lot closer, I think, in the people's minds than I thought it would be. Definitely could have seen this being a little bit more one-sided, but I mean, Hart is probably playing a bigger uphill battle here against that curse that we keep mentioning, which we're totally serious about.
I mean, I'm kind of on board with it, yeah. Like, I feel like once you realize that you're going into the curse, though, like if Hart realized it, that's when like is it the placebo effect? I'm not sure.
So it's just like magic, dude. It can't affect you unless you believe in it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Just like any other like cheesy like ABC Family like movie.
You just gotta believe. It's the secret. Come with me. Okay, so the Banshee coming out of Hart will have Cloak at a pretty nice timing. I think last game he also got caught a little bit awkwardly coming across the middle of the map because Gumi, of course, had that really fast Viking. But when you go for the command center first like this, it does cost you a lot of minerals, and it does stall out your production, your end game, which is that starport. So I imagine Gumi is going to end up playing defensive as a consequence. And we'd probably see a Viking first, maybe even a Raven if he wants to get really crazy, but doesn't have a tech lab, so Viking just kind of fits the bill.
Gonna get crazy with the Raven here. It's really crazy.
Yep, definitely. I don't know, that voice caught me off guard a little more than it should have. It's because you never do weird voices, man. But anyway, so the Banshee is coming to the natural. Sadly, there's not a lot to pick off here. The turret is finishing, so Hart's damage is limited. But as we all know, if you've played TVT at some point, if you've played against Terran at some point, there's always little gaps where the Banshee can sneak in. It does have a lot of range on it.
Yeah. I mean, the Viking is so good because the turret has more vision than it has range. So usually a Viking plus a turret, you don't actually need to get a Raven, which is why Gumiho doesn't bother right now. It's actually Hart going for the Raven. Nice dodger there.
Yeah, good dodge, good shot. Both sides just gonna play that out as best you can when they just wouldn't let him play.
Yeah. But is he gonna do anything with this Raven? I mean, I keep expecting like the double tank drops and like these matchups, and it's not so popular anymore. But I keep expecting it, and it never happens. And the Ravens so far have not been those like really fantastic Ravens, totally worth getting that we have seen in other games, like Secret Missiling, like the one very important tank. It's not happened yet.
Alright, finds that that little edgeway, picks up an SCV, drives off some money. Both two Vikings in pursuit, and being low on energy, he's absolutely gonna have to disengage off of this.
Yeah. Alright.
Well, still at a pretty decent timing for Hard. Gumiho, of course, doesn't pick the tech path yet. And it's a scenario where, let's not forget, Gumiho prefers mech where he can pull it off, but if he waits too long to try anything, he won't be able to do anything else. And, oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, well, luckily that was an easy fix.
Yeah. The worst is when you build too close together and your units will finish like 100 out of 100 but can't pop out because there's no physical space.
Never had that happen.
I've had it happen when you get in those weird scenarios where you're like a one base contain and you can't build because there's siege tanks on all the ledges, and you're like, okay, I'll move the factory over here. And then you're like, oh, why is the tank not coming out? I quit. F this game. Flip the table. Rage quit. Alt F4.
Hart is... He's moving out right now. Double armories are going down, and it's going to be a mech game, which means, like, I feel like there was a bunch of things that went wrong in that last game that kind of made it, like, fizzle out at the end, but that map control that Gumiho had, he was the one pushing, not Hart. It's not really going to happen with mech most of the time. They can push if they really want to, but especially with double armory, I feel like you're going to be, like, much more passive. So being able to deny a third is going to be a lot easier in this case, and that's, you know, doubly important for a mech player. This Raven, again, I think it's best use with, I mean, maybe point defense drone so the Viking can't kill the medevac, or, you know, takes longer to kill the medevac, but I just always imagine getting those really great secret missiles on the tanks.
This is such a weird drop to come into. It's 2 tanks, 8 marines, like that's the standard, but...
Isn't it 1 tank?
Well, that's what I'm saying, it's just 1 tank here, that's why it's weird. Point defense drone is going to go down, actually allowing this to unload. 1 tank versus 3, though. I think if Gumiho didn't siege these up, actually, he'd have a much better chance of dealing with this army. As you see, it takes so long to siege. The Marines are already in range, but they're doing some really good damage, and the tank is just not in range to shoot at anything other than SCVs and friendly fire. Vikings going to land after picking off those medevacs, and of course, that goes so poorly for Harsh.
Yeah. Actually didn't trade out that badly. You look at like
SCVs.
The numbers, but remember that it's a lot about just denying Gumiho's third, because Hart is again at that situation where he doesn't have one, and if he doesn't have units to do that, then that's where that drop actually really hurts Hart.
Yeah. Well, Hart is actually going to start moving out yet again. Gumiho is playing full-on mech, Blue Flame on the way, and of course taking this third base, going to get his comfort zone here pretty quick. With this many Vikings, it's going to be really difficult for Hart to maintain any sort of medevac count. And it's not even that he's trying to go for drops. Those will get picked off. He knows it. He just, the typical medevacs to heal your army with. Yeah.
But then here's where we see, like, you know, good players take advantage of the fact that there are Vikings and not more tanks or Hellions, right? So just it's exactly. More about not dropping everyone, losing units, but just waiting until you have, like, a big amount of units, like a large amount of units, and then going in face first. You should be able to deny the third here.
Ooh, I don't know if I like this tank spot out of Hart. He's going to get a little bit greedy going forward on top of this. I mean, there are Hellions, not quite Blue Flame yet, sure, but these tanks have to be covered. They have to be protected.
Yeah, but that was worth it. He didn't lose, I think he lost like 2 Marines, and he forced the third CC to lift for at least a little while.
Yeah, I mean, he's buying time while his third comes down, so yeah, it's always going to be quote-unquote worth it, but I am a little bit worried about him getting caught here. I mean, Blue Flame's nearing completion, which means these Hellions only need to really get 1 blast off, and all these Marines just fall over like dominoes. Yeah,
absolutely. But you know it's also good is that he's forcing Gumiho to be like, where should I put the tanks? Because I know a bio player is going to have 2 armies, or even 3 sometimes, and Overgrowth it actually has 3 entryways, but 2 until those rocks are broken down. And on such a low tank count, you got to decide, do I be a little greedy? Do I take that third right now and risk losing maybe my natural, or, you know, not like what he's doing right now, just keeping it lifted up right now. Another thing to worry about is that the upgrades are going to be faster for the mech player.
Well, Blue Flame is revealed at this point if you didn't know about it before. Try to maintain that watchtower control. Sadly, that's not going to happen. This doesn't prompt Hart to move in with this army or anything. He could try and take advantage of this ledge. I think would be a great choice to try and do while this goes on.
Oh, yeah.
Medevacs are, of course, picked up and ready to go. Hellbats, though, Blue Flame unloaded up in these Medevacs. If Hart's not already pre-spread ahead of time, this gets devastating quickly.
Yeah. I think he realized that, like, Gumiho was going to think about that. And
yeah, boosting on in.
Careful. It's one thing they're good at, taking down Medevacs.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, all those Medevacs have to do is if one Hellbat pops out, that's half the damage on the Marines. If the second Hellbat pops out of the other one, if they each drop just one Hellbat, those Marines are dead. Like, not even a question. The damage is just that crazy.
To be honest, I prefer this base location for Gumiho anyways, so I'm really glad that he just had the peace of mind to, like, oh, I can take this other one. Like, when we see people, like, block out a command center from the natural, and it's like, well, I can lift it later. I don't have to cancel it or anything. And he just, you know, took the other base. Breaking down the rocks here does open up another path.
Ooh, Thor's coming out.
This one.
Actually kind of cool. The Thors have range that sometimes even Vikings don't have. Positioning is going to help out a lot. And of course, they do a lot of damage, but they're going to be very susceptible to bio. Like, Stim Marines and Marauders is going to take Thors down so quickly. So, for Gumiho to add these in, I'm a little bit curious. Like, these are good for the late game, but I feel like it's still too early to make even one or two of these. There's no real necessity for it. Unless, what if he just Thor drops?
Oh, I don't know if they're quite as effective against Terran.
I don't know, man. It's gonna. I guess the command center can lift. Unlike a hatchery. Would have been cool. I'm just trying to like theorize. Like 1 or 2, I guess, is not bad. It does give an extra range. It's a little bit of area of effect attack, but Hart's not really shown anything that's warranted these, I feel.
Yeah. Well, there's always that fear, which a scan can usually alleviate, but I guess it's possible you don't scan the starports. That the bio player's next step is if they can't break you or out multitask you, they go for the faster starports. And that's when you gotta decide, well, do I transfer over right now and risk getting just overrun because I don't have tanks? Or do I add in a couple of Thors and cover my, you know, my ass?
That's so many Blue Flame Hellbats that are just gonna drag and drop on top of this army, and if Hart's not careful, he is going to get absolutely wrecked by this. And he doesn't have any sort of Vikings. He doesn't have any sort of way to focus those down. Gumiho's getting prepared to break Hart on one of these two fronts. Yeah. If not consolidated on just one.
But he is, like, moving around. If Hart had vision on the right side of the theStC, he could kill a couple SCVs, get the, you know, the damage done a little bit. But it's really just like a kind of a stalemate right now. And both players are realizing that, and they're going to the next step of TVT. Air.
Well, I kind of like this hit squad he's going to get off to the side, right? Like, if Gumiho pushes in, then Hart sandwiches from behind. If Gumiho's out of position, then Hart drops it or sprints into the natural base. But, oh man, one thing we didn't talk about, we're so focused on this army, is of course the potential of actual just straight up Hellbat drops, going to all the mineral lines, picking off all the SCVs.
Yeah.
Always gonna try and catch this with the Marines. Not quite in position for it.
What are these scans going down? Gumiho is afraid that he's, like, expanded everywhere right now.
I can't blame him. I mean, Gumiho has really been kind of stuck on these 3 bases,
unable
to go anywhere.
Oh man, dropping those Hellbats on those Marines wouldn't have been a bad idea, would it? Oh, it would have lose them,
killed some for sure, but yeah, he's starting to give these away for free, and it's not even the Medevacs going down so much as the Medevacs, or not Meta. What am I saying here? It's not even the Hellbats going down so much as it is the Medevacs. Sorry, man, my brain's not working right now. But it's a lot of stims were used, and it's a large portion of the army to be out of position like that because he has no idea if Gumiho is preparing to come in from behind like this and catch him with those Blue Flame Hellions. I mean, the Medevacs may have gone down. Now we got those drops, dragging and dropping. Gonna try to pick up some of the army, maybe. There's no anti-air here, man. Pick up and live.
I do want to point out that there's something a little more interesting about this game in regards to the late game air versus air, is that usually when a mech player goes mech in TVT, it's usually just +2 weapons, you know, and then later on maybe they'll do the armor. But Gumiho's had, you know, 2 armories since like the beginning. So for once, his air armor is actually going to be perfectly upgraded, far ahead of Hart. And they're both going to be going for air. So like Hart, he's either got to like put on his own armory or just accept that.
Here comes the break. Hellbats directly dropped on top of the tanks, but they can focus them very quickly. We'll see if the rest of the Hellbats can push through. This gives Gumiho tons of time to siege up his tanks, though, and Hart is going to have to absolutely yield his position in the middle of the map.
But Hart's producing, again, air. Like, Vikings have been on that board. Banshees have been on that board, too. The Thors are definitely going to help out.
he's done a great job of hiding these, I think is what the key thing is.
Yeah.
They haven't been scanned at this point, and Gumiho has not continued to produce his own Vikings. I mean, at this point he is now, but he's seen to a point like, hey, I've had air control for so long, he didn't need to.
Right. And now he's getting his own Banshees. You might think it's odd that the mech player gets his Banshees, but there's a lot of instances where there's only Marauders left over. So not a bad idea whatsoever. And then you also, like, this is a game where people have kind of forgotten, like, Banshees are here, so maybe taking down SCVs at the actual mineral lines is not so hard. 4 Banshees to a missile turret, easy.
Sprinting for his life. Here come those Vikings, though, not revealed until just now. We got some Thors for those Banshees to look out for. They are light units, it's like shooting Mutalisks for it, but the Vikings going to absolutely win this air fight. If he take out this one Thor, which it doesn't look like he could do, he could kill all those tanks, but the Thor lives. Those SCVs repairing it are absolutely boss mode, and if he lands the Vikings, they die to the tanks. Hart now in a lot of trouble, lost a good portion of his army, and without those, with that Thor standing, his Banshees all fall.
No, Hart, no, it's the curse.
It's the curse!
He was down by like pieces of fly, guys. Like the Brown army didn't die.
Yeah, there's no way to break the Hellbats too. This Banshee's on top of a good game. It's going to be called, ladies and gentlemen, Gumiho will be the second player out of this group. Going to the semifinals, he will join Impact to fight against the Europeans. It's a little bit sad to see Hart fall, but damn, Hart played a good series today. He played a good set of series as well, and I do hope and look forward to seeing him more in the future. But congratulations to Gumiho. So we got Impact and Gumiho in each side of the semifinals. That should be some pretty fun stuff. But through weird delays and internet hiccups, folks, we have to go get caught up with the European crowd. So we're going to take about 5 or 10 minutes.